Good morning. It's been a long time since I've been able to record a video, but I thought I would get out here because a lot's changed in the months, excuse me, in the months since I made another video. Summer is in full bloom here in Minnesota, and thought I'd just go over a few things that are new, things to keep the homestead going to help make it more self-sufficient. So here is my garden this year. I did a little experiment on this side where there's a lot more weeds, unfortunately, but I tried the roost out method with the hay. Got weeds, but my zucchini plant, as you can see, is just a monster. I have gotten humongous, I got one down there right now, humongous zucchini. I didn't even know that was there. I have to pick that later. Zucchinis from it. The rest is back to Eden. That's my corn. I'm gonna go stand next to it so you can see how tall it is. It's insanely huge. So I'm 5'7", and this is the top of my head. So yeah, you can see it's just huge. So the tomatoes are going crazy. Cucumbers. I really like the back to Eden method. Everything is just exploding. I have beans I have to get in to pick because they've been ready for a week or two, and I just have been working a ton, so I've been unable to get out here. But yeah, so fenced off the garden this year so the chickens and the turkeys and my new additions wouldn't get in there. Got meat birds, got 9 that are about 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old. Had 40, but we had a little massacre one day. The dogs got overly excited for some reason when I was at work and broke in and killed 31 of them. So I've got 9 that are about 4 weeks old, and then I have another 39, 40 that are a few weeks old to replace them. So this is the new addition to my little homestead. I got 3 Shetland sheep who are as mischievous as goats, I'm learning, but are really sweet. So got them for their fleece, which they're not. The fleece right now is covered in burdock root brambles. So I'm going to shear them hopefully next week. And then their coats will grow. They're only about, let's see, they were born in April. So May, June, July. So about 3.5, 4 months old. Very sweet, very docile, very skittish right now, though they were not bottle fed. They were naturally milked by mom. I said fed by mom, and then we naturally. So they are a little scared of people. I've been able to catch them, though, because once you catch them, they're pretty docile. But catch them and deworm them. Doing a natural dewormer. I don't think they have any worms. Their eyelids are looking nice and pink and red. So I'm hoping to just do a preventative dewormer on them, which is molasses and garlic powder with water, and then they get about 50 mLs each. And this is what they do. They're very much the herd, and they just follow each other like that. So that's the new addition. So I'll get fleece from them. I'll breed them next fall and get babies and milk so that I can make soaps and lotions. The turkeys are doing good. These are the blue slate turkeys I got last year. I have 3 females and 1 male left. Not a very hardy animal, I've discovered. Chickens are much hardier. These they got sick, they died. And right off the bat from the hatchery I got them from, I lost 8 of my 7. The hatchery said nothing to do with them, even though they all died within the first few hours of me getting them. So just an unhealthy batch, but trying to make the most of it, trying to get a breeding flock going. So right now they're hiding their eggs, so they've made a nest somewhere. Don't know if they'll go sit on them or what, but you know, it is what it is. So hopefully someday I'll have a bunch of turkeys, huh, sissy girl? So, but yeah, so got that. I've still got my guineas. The guineas are, we're down to 4. I've got one off in the woods, hopefully nesting. She disappeared a few weeks ago, so I'm hoping she comes out soon with some babies. If not, you know, it'll happen when it happens. I'm really trying to stick with the mentality of just letting things happen naturally, letting them, you know, become broody if they want. If they don't want it, then just letting it be. But all the babies are hiding in the trees here. So I have the little 2-week-old babies out already. They've been out for a week. So I put them out. It was really hot. It was like in the 70s at night last week. So I put them out. They do have a heat lamp. So this is where they live, although these naughty big hens are in here eating their food because it's much more yummier than theirs. But they have a heat lamp that I turn on, and with all of them in there, they stay nice and warm at night. So I'm not worried about them. They're feathering in nicely. And then this is the sheep corral I made. Got this big, huge, wonderful old 3-sided pole barn. It was a fire before I bought it, but it was just, you know, there really wasn't much going on in here. So this has all been sectioned off. I got some really cheap pallets off of Craigslist here in town. Did a welded wire, which is holding them in just fine. Built this little pen. You know, it's not the prettiest I've ever seen, but it'll keep coyotes out, which is my main predator. I haven't had any come on my property, but out in the field out there, I did see one morning about the size of a small dog. But thank God I've never had them come on my property. I've never lost an animal to them. So that's my hope that still remains true. I do hope, as my German Shepherd, that she's very interested in the sheep. She likes following them around. So my goal would be in the wintertime to have her sleep out here with them. But they're protected from the elements. This faces south, the opening, and typically we don't get storms that blow in from the south. So, and if we do, I've got the chicken coop right here to protect them. So I've just been adding little pieces as I find a weakness, but this will keep out a coyote, I'm hoping. And it won't keep out a bear. I have seen a bear here, my first summer here. I did see a bear, a small bear across the road, but never had them come on my property. I've never seen one any closer than that one time. So I'm gonna just protect them for what I know is around, and you know, God forbid a bear comes on. That's what I have a shotgun for. So, you know, I have every right to protect my farm and my livestock and my animals. So that's what I will do. But it's worked out great so far. So when I have to work, because the sheep are super naughty, I've discovered, they've gotten into the chicken coop and locked themselves in there a couple of times. And so they can't be out when I'm not home. So they stay in here. They have, you know, hay, they have water. I give them some grain. They've got some, you know, shrubs to eat or grass to eat. They're working on that tree over there. So they're good if I'm at work. I typically leave really early, like 5 in the morning. So they normally don't come out until about 10 o'clock anyways, because in my learning of sheep husbandry, if you want to call it that, they shouldn't be let out in the morning because the parasites, the worms that infect them, live in the soil, potentially. They crawl up the grass. What? I hear you. They crawl up the grass when the dew is wet, and then when the sheep eat wet grass, that's how they get the worms. Sorry about that. So I've been keeping them in until about 10 o'clock in the morning when all the dew dries. Yes, Mama, can I help you? She loves me. She follows me everywhere. She's a really sweet hen. So they're not let out till like 10 anyways. And then I get home when I have to go that early. I get home at about 3. So they have from 3 until 8 o'clock at night to cause problems, which they do. So, but they're getting acclimated to their new home, and they have free range of the whole property. So they're learning, and everything's just coming along. Things are growing, things are getting better. The homestead is growing. Getting ready, like I said, to pick some beans. And then I'm gonna can those. Super excited. I learned that this little gem is red clover, and it's got great medicinal properties. This is the root stout method too. I've just discovered there's lots of weeds with this method for whatever reason. So I'm going to just make some adjustments for next year, but I've got some berry bushes that I bought and planted, blackberry, raspberry, elderberry, and one other kind, but trying to do it around the perimeter of the garden, and yeah, go from there. I've got gooseberries right there. I've been getting handfuls off of that all summer. But yeah, this red clover, I'm super excited. It's got great medicinal properties. The garden, I love the size. I'm going to expand it. It's going to come out from about here. I'm going to take it out about 6, 8 feet, 10 feet, and then come across to have more room, just so that I can expand. I've got potatoes growing in the root stout, so I'm super excited about that. My grow bag potatoes didn't do as well as I would have liked this year, but coming back in here, I just saw some raspberries on one of the bushes, so I want to see if they're ripe or not. Oh yeah, oh yum. So yeah, I got some raspberries, and I just planted these this year, and I've heard that you're supposed to not let them fruit the first year, but you know what? I had at my old place, I did that. I didn't do that the first year, and they just grew like 10 feet tall. They were insanely huge. So get a couple tomatoes here. I've got some on the kitchen counter for canning. So yeah, this is just insane. This corn, it's the first successful year I've had with corn since I moved to Minnesota 5 years ago. So my first successful corn harvest, hopefully this year. It's looking good. Getting, a nice stalks on them. So one year I got one stalk out of all of them, but these are looking nice and thick and healthy. So super excited. Gonna get some pumpkins. Got a big pumpkin here. I replanted beets. Gonna try to get a fall crop of beets, but yeah, the squash, this is just insane. So what happened was I planted over here, not realizing that anything had taken seed because nothing was coming up. And then all of a sudden, I planted over here in the back to Eden, and some of the plants I started inside. And then before I knew it, this side was just insane and huge. And yeah, I'm not complaining. I love zucchini. I love making zucchini bread in the summer. I'm learning my dogs are going to eat it if I chop it up and put it in their food in the morning for their eggs. Sorry, I'm trying to get to that huge zucchini I saw. Holy criminy. Okay, I've never had one this big. Oh my gosh, this is hysterical. And a lot of people say you shouldn't let them get this big. Okay, I can't even grab it. Hold on. Holy smokies, that's huge. A lot of people say you shouldn't let them get this big, but their flavor to me is just as amazing. So look at this bad boy. Okay. Oh, look at that beast. Holy smokes, that's huge. So that's about it. I'm hoping to get on here and do, I've got some great salves and lotions that I'm going to be making with all of these herbs that I'm getting that I planted. I planted comfrey. I planted echinacea. Ouch, I've got that red clover. Yeah, so I've got lots of good things happening. Trinity! And looking forward. I broke my foot in the early spring. I stepped off the deck and the middle of the night, and I didn't realize how far down it was, and I twisted my right ankle and I broke my left foot. But being the good nurse that I am, I didn't go to the hospital because I wasn't going to have surgery no matter what. And I had just learned that comfrey, go back inside here for a minute. I just learned that comfrey has great medicinal properties for healing broken bones. So I soaked my foot in comfrey 3 times a day. Did a comfrey poultice. Trinity, come here. Did a comfrey poultice every single night when I went to bed, and was back to work 3 days after I broke it. I think it was a metatarsal, one of the long bones in the foot. And hyperextended the toe, so my joint from my toe to my first digit, the first toe to the bone, injured. Come on, Trinity, come inside. Trinity, come. Come. She didn't want to listen today. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on, girl. Trinity, come. So, yeah, so I was back to work, walking around, limping, but making it, resting it when I was off. Come on, baby. We gotta go inside. Come on. Come on. Come on. When I could, and it was healed up with no signs of, I didn't have a ton of inflammation, had minimal bruising, and walking around just fine. So healed it up. So it's always an option if you don't have insurance. It's not a bad break. It's, a little one. Come on, girls. Come on, Shelby. That, it's an option for you. Not every bone needs to be surgically operated on. They do that a lot these days, for reasons unbeknownst to me, but I work in a recovery room as well. So I know that, but they do a lot of surgeries that they don't need on bones that don't need to be opened up and reduced and fixed and whatnot. So, if you want to break a finger, your hand, something that, you still have full movement, you've got good circulation, you've got everything, and you don't have insurance, and you want a way to heal yourself, comfrey is an awesome solution, or awesome alternative. So I did that, and I don't regret it at all, because I don't want to be put under anesthesia, nor do I want to have to be out of work for 6 to 8 weeks. So that's my little spiel. I hope to get back on here more this summer, before summer ends, to give you a little bit more video. Hope everyone is doing well, and if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Thanks. Have a great day.